Nalin Kohli, can you hear me? You are part of this four-member committee, this four-member experts committee, which is expected to submit a report. How do you really plan to go about this, sir?
Look, this is a committee. It's a legal committee headed by a very distinguished High Court judge, retired Justice Rumi Phukan. It has the Advocate General of the state of Assam, Mr. Devajit Saikia. It has me as the Additional Advocate General of the state, and one of our other colleague advocates, Mr. Daman. So we are all to submit a report in 60 days to look at the legality or the legal issues involved in terms of what the Honorable Chief Minister, Dr. Himanta Sarma, has said about whether the state can ban polygamy, which is multiple marriages, and how does that fit into the contours of Article 25, Article 14, the Sharia Act of 1937, the fact that states can enact laws related to marriage. So it's to be a legal report. It's not a political issue in that sense. And once that legal report goes, once the committee meets, because the committee has been announced only yesterday, then we will look at all these different things, depending on what our Honorable Chairperson and the other members have to say. We'll submit it. And Dr. Himanta Sarma himself has said that this is to be not confrontation, it's more about a consensus. So I don't see it as a political issue. I see no need for people to immediately start making political comments on it. After all, if it can be constitutionally done, whether it is within the domain and the power of the state to do so, these issues will be explored. If it is there, then one will move ahead. So, it is based on the recommendation. And then after the recommendation of a committee comes, then the government looks at that, looks at all the issues that the committee has put in its report. So we have to really work on the report from a legal framework.
Right, so of course, the legalities will be the biggest challenge, is the main issue, of course, here. But don't you think that this will also, of course, set an example for other states as well, but also draw many political reactions and opposition as well?
So whether the report or the setting up of the committee is to be decided by another state or not, that is for those states to decide. Yeah, I would say that Dr. Himanta Sarma has been working relentlessly for the people of Assam. And if you look at it, take the issue of, say, child marriage. But child marriage is prohibited by law. There are statutes to that effect. But in Assam, he decided that the law must be implemented. There were a lot of political reactions. The police there went out and prevented child marriage, which is a very benevolent and a very good objective. And there are therefore laws passed on it. Now, can anyone turn around and say that we have political opposition to the law of the land not being implemented? Can anyone out there say that a law which has been passed by Parliament at the central level, or a law that exists in the state passed duly by the process of the Assembly, that should not be implemented, that someone can seek an exclusion from that law? And when the police went out there, they did not look which religion, which region, nothing. They only looked whether someone is breaking the law or not breaking the law. And it is our all duties, it is everyone's duty, that if there are special provisions for protection of women, for protection of children, we all have to ensure that those provisions are implemented in letter and spirit. So the same is there, that if there are issues in terms of, from a social perspective, there are, sometimes complaints do come about with regard to polygamy. There is also the angle of not official polygamy, which means people not formally entering into a marriage with a second person. So these are various things that have social dimensions, that have legal dimensions, and they have to be studied. And the very fact that the Chief Minister himself has referred to the Sharia Act, has referred to Article 25, is recognition that we need to see how do the contours of all of these meet in terms of the legality if the state is to consider bringing up any kind of enactment with regard to polygamy. That's why I said this committee is a legal committee. It's not political, and I think everyone should welcome it.
Right, sir.